Greetings! I'm Troy David Newham, the author of 2084, The Search for Love, Hope, and Faith, available on Amazon.com in paperback and in Kindle version. The Kindle version is only 99 cents, and if you're a member of Amazon.com Prime, you'll be able to read it for free from their lending library. Now, this week's message from Moses is going to be very special, and I would like to thank all the idiots in the news for giving me so much material for the week that I just could not pick. I thought about doing 2, maybe even 3 segments and doing separate videos. And then I realized, you know what, you shouldn't do that because this is a rant. And a rant should be long and just rambling and just talking about whatever. So let's hit it off, guys. Okay, first let's talk about Chic-fil-a. One, if you're a president of a company, learn to keep your mouth shut. I mean, I don't know what good it was going to give you to come out on a position on any kind of political debate, but the die has been cast. Fine, so be it. Now everyone's up in arms. Some people are like, we're going to eat at Chick-fil-A more to support you. And others are like, we're going to ban you and we're not going to eat at your restaurants just to spite you. Personally, I love me some Chick-fil-A, man. Their nuggets are real good. Their spicy chicken sandwich, well worth it. Waffle fries, everything. Hey, you know, whatever. But Rahm Emanuel and Thomas Menino of Boston have a different opinion. So, to Mein Führer Emanuel and El Presidente Menino, I would like to say thank you for being true fascists and trying to control the choices that people are allowed to make. Because you have decided that Chick-fil-A doesn't belong in your city. Because you're a powerful mayor and you can use your power to make people choose which restaurants can and cannot be chosen. Bravo! You know you're on shaky ground when even Mayor Bloomberg says, guys, that's a little fascist, man. But you know, to quote Rahm Emanuel here, and I don't do a very good Rahm Emanuel, so I'm going to put on this cowboy hat, because I think when we all picture Rahm Emanuel, I mean, we immediately think cowboy, don't we? Okay. We don't like your kind here. Get out of our city. Alright, so apparently going up against gay marriage and supporting traditional marriage makes you ineligible to live in Chicago. You don't have their values. You know, their values are that you should be able to murder people left and right on a continual basis. Because I think that's what Chicago is becoming known for. I'd like to point out that this was also Barack Obama's position just 2 years ago. And I know what you people on the left are going to say. That's different! He didn't really mean that he supported that marriage between a man and a woman. No, he's always believed in same-sex marriage. He just had to lie to get elected. Which is probably true. And so here we are. But the fact of the matter is, you're not allowed to make these choices, Rahm Emanuel. I'm sorry. You can't just say, you know, I disagree with your stance on something, so you're not allowed to open a business. How would you feel if there was a company that was owned by some liberal people that gave money to the NAACP and someone in Atlanta said, yo, you're not allowed to have a store here in Atlanta because you give money to the NAACP. Oh, come on, you would go crazy. And you should go crazy because that's just totally wrong, man. You can't do it. Like I said, even Mayor Bloomberg. Speaking of Mayor Bloomberg, you know, stupidest quotes of the year. Come on, man. The police across this country should go on strike until people demand greater gun control laws. Okay, you know what people would demand if the police went on strike? Not more gun control. They would request more guns. They would buy guns out the wazoo and ammo to boot. They'd be making the Colorado killer look like he bought like a box or something. I mean, come on. People would be arming themselves left and right. They dang sure wouldn't be saying, please take more of our guns away. Now, to Barack Obama, also another stupid quote of the year. Don't you think that criminals shouldn't have these guns? Only soldiers should have AK-47s. Well, you know, hey, if you got to choose between the military having the guns and the criminals having the guns. He's got a point. Oh, wait, there's a third group. I forgot, law-abiding citizens who maybe want to own the guns for whatever reason they please. You can hunt with an AK-47 if you want to. They also make damn good people guns if you're worried about self-defense. If you're, stockpiling for the end of the world, you look around and you're like, holy crap, Obama's the Antichrist. Hey, you might want to buy a few AK-47s, and who am I to begrudge them that? As long as you don't use it with the crime, I don't care if you own 5,000 AK-47s. It's none of my business. And the vast majority of the AK-47s in this country will not be used in the crime. And speaking of which, our military does not use AK-47s, people. They use M16s. Only communist countries use the AK-47. But I digress. Okay, and so that brings me to the third stupid group of people, the Anaheim Rioters. Listen, people, you are choosing the wrong thing to riot about. The cops killed a couple people. Alright, how many people do your cops go around shoot? Is this a daily thing over there? It could be, I don't know. I tried to look it up online and, I gave up and I wasn't that interested in looking it up, quite honestly. But I guarantee you that the number of people that are shot by the police far, far are outweighed by the number of people who are shot by, guess who? The gangs. And you know what? These two people, members of gangs. And you run with the bad crowd, you gotta pay the consequences. What do you think? Do you think you're gonna join a gang and that your life is going to be honky-dory and you'll go to the park and play chess? No, you join a gang, you're into raping, killing, murdering, breaking into people's houses, destroying property, shooting other gang members, selling drugs. All these things come with being a gang. These are not the upstanding citizens that you want to protect. And you know what? If you're rioting, look around. Maybe you should be more concerned about what your citizens are doing to each other. Or do you not care as long as they're of the same, if they're all minorities of the same age and socioeconomic status, does that make it okay? It's like, well, yeah, in Chicago, the black gang members are killing black gang members, but, it's the same, so it's, equal. That's fine. No, you need to stop this. You need to take control of your society's people and put an end to this. I don't know how you're going to do it. I mean, it's kind of too late for the ones that are already in the gangs. But you know what, parents? You need to do a better job raising your kids so they don't wind up in gangs. And that's really the issue. And if he hadn't been in a gang, he wouldn't have gotten shot. Now, am I saying the police are blameless? No, it should be, investigated. And if there was wrongdoing, then the cops should be punished. Same as always. But you know what? When you're going up against a known gang member and you know that they will shoot you and they have shot at you and everything else, and they start reaching for their gun band, you're probably going to pull the gun and shoot them. Fact. No one wants to die. No one's going to sit there and say, no, I'm going to let them draw. I'm going to let them take the first shot. Because that's the honorable thing to do. No, when you're in that situation and adrenaline's pumping, and you see a known gang member reaching, you think, for a gun, you're going to try to protect yourself because it's the number one law in nature. Survive. So, that is my rant for this week. Oh, God, it feels good to get it out of my system. I just had it all bottled up. So, anyway, I would like you to read 2084. It talks about the breakdown of society, how the schools and the news organizations were infiltrated from the losers from the 60s who couldn't, break the capitalist hold that was on our country. So what I decided to do was misinform us and break down the education system and brainwash the kids, which kind of happened. So there you are. Highly recommend it. It's very prophetic. Also read War Journal, also available on Amazon.com in Kindle version. It's also in the Lending Library. I maintain a blog at swampfoxpress.com. That's swampfoxpress.com. It's very entertaining, very enlightening. If you're a libertarian, I highly recommend it. If you're not a libertarian, read it. It might change your mind. Fact of the matter is, I think deep down, we're all libertarians. We don't want to get taxed, and we want the government to leave us alone and do whatever we want to do. as long as we're not hurting anybody else. So, if you haven't thought about changing over to libertarianism, consider it. Anyway, long live the Constitution, and signing off.